my curious and playful Gemini friend. Hello and welcome. My name is Mina, and I'm here to offer you a 3-card reading exploring the themes of you, your path, and your potential. I invite you to consider what the reading reveals about possible challenges, opportunities, and personal growth for the week ahead. Take a deep breath, rest your mind, and let's see what the cards have to share with you today. Gemini, there's a hush that sits behind your words this week. Even in a room full of people, you might sense a coolness on your skin, as though something important is missing or just out of reach. You look around, maybe you laugh, maybe you keep moving, but a part of you is carrying a question that no one else seems to hear. There's a longing for warmth, for proof that you belong, even as you perform your usual balancing act between curiosity and cleverness. Sometimes, the world feels like it has a closed door with your name on it, and you wonder who holds the key. Your mind races ahead, but your heart lags behind, quietly hoping for a sign that you haven't been left out in the cold. This is not loneliness in its loudest form. It's subtler than that. It's the ache that comes when you try to explain yourself and find that the words taste empty. There's a part of you that wants to reach out, to share something real, but the risk of being misunderstood feels greater than usual. So you hold back or you fill the space with distractions. Through it all, the unspoken tension lingers, the need to be seen, truly seen, and the fear that you might not be. No one else may notice, but you do. It sits with you quietly at the edge of every conversation, every plan. The 5 of Pentacles has a way of showing up when it matters. This week, that feeling of being on the outside is more than a passing mood. It's the shape of your inner landscape. You might find yourself fixating on what you lack, what doesn't seem to be working, or the sense that others are moving along without you. There's a chill that creeps in, a sense that resources, whether emotional, material, or simply a sense of security, are running thin. It's easy to see the places where you've been excluded, or where you feel unsupported, and to let those places define you. When you look inward, you might notice a quiet resignation, a voice that says, "This is just how things are for me right now." Yet, even as you move through your day, there's a resilience that keeps you going. You show up even when it feels pointless. You keep asking questions, even when the answers come slowly or not at all. That inner sense of scarcity doesn't erase your intelligence or your wit, but it does color the way you see what's possible. You might notice yourself comparing your situation to others, feeling as though you're always a few steps behind or just outside the warmth of the fire. It's exhausting and there's no quick escape. But beneath the surface, there's also a stubborn hope, a belief that things could be different, even if you can't see how. You might not share this with anyone, preferring to handle it in private, but it shapes every choice you make right now. In moments like this, you might withdraw a little, keeping your true feelings under wraps. Maybe you throw yourself into work or conversation, hoping that momentum will carry you out of this shadow. Or perhaps you move more slowly, waiting for a sign that someone notices your absence. Either way, your emotional posture is protective, cautious, and a little weary. There's a vulnerability here that you might prefer to hide, but it's real, and it asks to be acknowledged, not fixed. The ache is not a flaw, it's a signpost. It says, something important is missing and I am allowed to feel it. That quiet ache, the sense of being just outside the circle, is not a dead end. In fact, it is precisely from this inner tension that your path begins to take shape. The more aware you become of your own longing, the more you notice the choices you have, even if they feel small at first. When you sit with that discomfort, it sharpens your attention, making you more alert to where you want to go or what you want to say. The feeling of exclusion can turn into a kind of clarity about what matters. It's as if, by knowing what you lack, you begin to see what you truly need, and this knowledge quietly pushes you forward. The energy that once felt like emptiness starts to become momentum, even if it's hesitant, and the path ahead begins to reveal itself not as an escape, but as a response to what you're feeling inside. Now, as the week unfolds, the Queen of Swords steps forward, bringing a new kind of pressure and a sharper sense of direction. Life may present you with situations that require you to speak up, set boundaries, or clarify what is and isn't acceptable. You feel the friction between what you feel and what you're willing to show. There may be moments when your patience wears thin, when you tire of holding back, or when you grow restless with ambiguity. Others may look to you for answers, or you may find yourself in conversations where honesty feels more like a necessity than a choice. There's a demand for clear thinking and direct communication, no more hiding behind distractions or self-deprecating jokes. There's a tension here. The world asks you to be sharp, to cut through confusion, even as you're still carrying that inner ache. You may notice old patterns rising up, urging you to soften your words to avoid conflict or to keep the peace at your own expense. Yet there's also a current of strength running beneath the surface. You start to see that your mind is your tool not just for analysis, but for self-protection and self-definition. This week you may feel the weight of having to make hard decisions or say things that others aren't ready to hear. The pressure doesn't let up easily. It pushes you to claim your space, to articulate your needs, and to cut through the noise. This is not about being cold or detached, but about owning your truth even if it's uncomfortable. The world around you may not immediately soften in response, and you might still feel the sting of being misunderstood. But the act of standing up for yourself, of saying what needs to be said, brings a sense of inner integrity. It's not flashy or dramatic, but it's real. The friction between your need to belong and your need to be honest becomes the engine that drives you forward. Every clear-eyed decision, every moment of honest speech, is a step out of the shadow cast by self-doubt. The more you honor your boundaries, the more you start to see the outlines of your own strength. There's a quiet satisfaction in this, a feeling that, even if you're still outside the warmth of the fire, you are holding your own ground. But this unfolding path is only a possibility, not a certainty. The way forward asks something of you, a willingness to be awake to your own experience, to meet the moment consciously. If you simply react or withdraw, the old ache will persist. If you numb yourself or try to bypass the discomfort, the lessons of this week will remain hidden, waiting for another time. Your potential, then, is not automatic. It is dependent on your ability to stay present with what's real, even when it's awkward or incomplete. This is an invitation, not a demand. You are not required to be perfect, only to be honest with yourself. The doorway to change opens only when you are willing to step forward, even if it's with trembling hands, and claim your place in the story that is unfolding. Nothing can be forced, but with each conscious breath, the possibility of something new grows stronger. When you allow yourself to engage fully, the King of Cups appears on the horizon. There is a new steadiness available to you, a sense of emotional maturity that feels earned, not given. You begin to notice that, even as discomfort lingers, you are capable of holding both your vulnerability and your strength. The ache of exclusion softens, becoming less of a wound and more of a part of your story. You feel your feelings, but they don't consume you. You speak your truth, but you do so with compassion for yourself and others. There's a depth to your presence this week that wasn't there before, a sense that you can weather the storm without losing yourself in it. This is not about achieving perfect balance or never feeling hurt again. Instead, it's about recognizing that you can be both sensitive and strong, both honest and kind. You realize that your emotional landscape is richer than you thought, capable of holding contradictions without collapsing. You may find yourself offering support to others, not because you have to, but because you understand what it means to feel unseen. Your capacity for empathy grows, as does your ability to stay calm in the face of uncertainty. The growth here is subtle but unmistakable. It's the feeling of being at home in your own heart, even when the world remains unpredictable. You do not have to prove yourself or win anyone over. Simply by showing up, by being real, you become the steady presence you've been searching for. The invitation is to trust that this steadiness will carry you gently through whatever comes next. The story of this week is one of movement, from the cold edge of longing, through the sharpening of your own voice, into the quiet waters of emotional maturity. The Five of Pentacles reminds you of what it feels like to be on the outside, carrying a need that is not met. The Queen of Swords frames this experience as a crucible, where clarity is forged from discomfort and honest speech becomes an act of self-respect. The King of Cups shows you the possibility that, in meeting the moment as it is, a deeper steadiness emerges. These energies are not separate. They are parts of a single, unfolding process. The pain of exclusion gives birth to the need for truth. The demand for truth creates the conditions for real connection, first with yourself, and then perhaps with others. You are not defined by what you lack, but by how you respond to it. Even if the world remains imperfect, you can find your own center, your own warmth, by honoring what is real for you. In this week, reassurance comes quietly. You are not alone in your longing, and you are more resilient than you know. The story is not about being untouched by pain, but about discovering that you can hold it, name it, and keep moving forward, one clear breath at a time. Actionable insights for Gemini this week. This week's emotional theme invites a gentle curiosity toward your own needs and boundaries. You could try pausing to notice which conversations leave you feeling seen, and which ones leave you empty. You might gently experiment with naming one thing you're feeling, just to yourself, before sharing it with anyone else. Let yourself linger for a moment in the spaces where you feel steady, even if they are small. Spoken word affirmations to repeat aloud for a more positive mindset. I am allowed to feel what I feel. My voice has value, even when it shakes. Each moment of honesty brings me closer to myself. I am steady, even when the world is not. And now, dear friend, I thank you for giving me your time. I truly hope I have given you something helpful in return. Goodbye and good luck until next time.